welcome to another episode of the Toon in 10. My name's Adam, and that is Vince. No Pete tonight, but it's been a good few days in the life of a Newcastle United fan. We are 6 points better off since the last episode, which is a pretty decent return. So what we'll do, first half, we'll take you through Derby reaction from Saturday evening. And in the second half, we'll attempt to pick out the goal bonanza at Loftus Road. But first things first, the iPro Stadium, Saturday night football. Time to ready and go. Well, I think we're better to start than that Johan Gouffran goal.
Unbelievable.
What do you think?
What I'm liking about life in the Championship, as well as the atmosphere and the Rafalucion and the wins,
that's enough for me.
We're on telly more than we were in the Premier League. Like, how many times we've been on telly?
Yeah.
Like, I've been able to watch most of our away matches. I think it was only last night that wasn't live, but still obviously had it on the radio. Gouffran has really surprised me this season. I liked Gouffran for his first 6 months, then maybe the second 6 months at half season. Good industry, good sort of work rate, good defensive. Reminded me a bit of Jonas, to be honest. That sort
Well,
of
he is. He's a defensive winger, isn't he? And I think the last few seasons I've always criticised him for, if we're going to play with one player up front, to have a non-scoring, non-creating player on the wing is
as
a
well
waste.
as two defensive midfielders sometimes under McLaren.
Exactly.
It's a waste.
And it's where are the goals coming from? Where's the creativity coming from? I think that word you used, industry, is pretty key, because it's been evident, and what was evident on Saturday night against Derby was Rafa as he's utilising this high pressing, chasing down strategy.
Perfect.
When we're out of possession,
Yeah.
we'll kind of drop to a sort of 4-4-1-1 formation with Diarmi in behind a sort of main striker. But what he's got the wingers to do, Richie obviously has fantastic work ethic. Gouffran has shown as well. No, he's not the most talented.
But I didn't think Gouffran would be here.
But he's there for his
run this season. Could you see Gouffran stay?
No,
I thought
he wasn't
gone.
I mean, there was a joke when he scored in a friendly, wasn't there? Like, oh bloody hell, Benitez has got Gouffran to score in a, he's got even Gouffran scoring. But then his industry has been invaluable, I guess, and he's not there because he's the most talented, but he's there because the work rate allows Rafa's style of play to flourish, I guess. And what really impressed me against Derby was this very solid, defensive, steady performance. We limited them to, I think, 2 shots on target.
Total control of the game, total control. Talking about, you said something there about work rate. Diarmi was blown from about 65 minutes onwards, and his fitness, I think, still needs to improve.
Yeah.
Play that position, like you saying, drop in from, you can get back to midfield, being that link between the striker and played well, but I think his fitness needs to improve.
This is it. Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I still think there's a couple of players who still aren't fully there yet. Notably, there's a couple of new signings that have come in that he wants to sort of bed in.
Nice for Yedlin to get a goal straight off the.
I know.
Was
it a Yedlin goal? I mean, because I know he was credited to it, but it was a kind of. It seemed to.
I said the fact he always just like. But his pace. Well, he always just bowled straight through them.
He's absolutely lightning.
Rapid.
And I think with players like, we'll get on Atsu in the second half, but players like Yedlin and Atsu and
Lazar's
got a bit of pace as well. If they're coming off the bench, and Yedlin showed, he didn't have much time, to make an impact, but his very presence, whether he got a touch or not, forced the ball at the net. He could be incisive runs, and it's penetration when there's tired legs at the back for the opposition. It just killed them off. And
we came across well in the post-match interview. I liked he was genuinely happy, genuinely ecstatic, and he seemed just to have that enthusiasm.
He gets it.
Really
I think he gets it a bit, and obviously he's probably lived in Newcastle before, hasn't he? So
for my sins, I've got quite a few friends that are Sunderland fans, and we've got a family that are Sunderland fans as well. They can't believe that Sunderland didn't sign him. They really are shocked.
They're sort of hoping. Well, we hope Manquillo's better. But you know,
it's mental to let him go because he was a proven quantity in the Premier League.
But this is it. You know, there's some players. You know, could he do well? Could he do? Even if Yedlin isn't the most technically gifted, his pace alone it's a bit like Gouffran's work rate.
Yeah.
It provides an attribute to the team that will help the wider team, you know.
Matt's pass for Watford.
Oh yeah.
Matt's a bit. I mean, luckily they won. It was a hell of a result for Watford in the end. But when I saw that, I didn't really miss him, to be honest.
No. I mean, look, what's very evident is that we've got a lot of strength in depth. Defensively, we're looking really solid. I mean, it was another clean sheet away from home against Derby, and maybe
nice to see Lascelles sort of redeem himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Great performance. Yeah, great performance. We're looking good. Well, that's the end of the first half. 2-0 in the bag at Derby. Second half.
Wow.
Let's talk about the drubbing. We'll be back after this. Hello and welcome back to the second half of the Toon in 10. We summed up events at the iPro Stadium in the first half, and the second half is probably the one you've been waiting for. The 6-0 drubbing, the absolute spanking of Queen's Park Rangers.
Their biggest ever loss at home. QPR's biggest ever loss at home in about 96 years they've been in existence, and that was the biggest ever loss.
Up to Vince. Time at the ready.
Biggest ever home loss.
And go! So, goals. Did anyone see this coming? I mean, I thought, I looked at it and I thought, you know what, as long as we didn't lose against QPR, if it was a draw would have been alright after a really impressive win at Derby. A scrappy 1-0 absolutely would have done pretty much everyone there, but wow, what a statement of intent.
I mean, in the last episode, I predicted a 1-0 at Derby, and more or less right. For this one, I would have had a draw. I thought QPR started quite well. Always been a tricky away fixture for us. We've never really done well.
Real bogey team, aren't they?
QPR's a tight ground. We played only 4 days earlier. But wow, I think that's a massive statement of intent for really cracking on in that division. And people are going to be scared to face us now.
We've got goals and we've got stability at the back, and this is on the road. You know, we're not used to this.
But we arrived into them. That's the thing. Keep saying he's there, but under McLaren, we would have been 1-0 up. Let's sit back, let's defend it, catch them on the break. But we arrived into them.
Yeah, it was one, not enough. Let's get another. Let's get another. I mean, look at Shelby's goal, his second goal.
Yeah,
I mean,
amazing.
Top corner curler. It didn't touch anything on the way in. It was postage stamp.
I like the way he set up and was calling for it. He
knew exactly what he was doing. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he was closed down relatively quickly, but they just couldn't react in time. And that's you know, with Gouffran's against Derby, with Shelby's there, you know, you're looking at two kind of goal of the season. Gail got goal of the month as well. That's exactly. But like, you know, what was really pleasing yesterday, as it was the spread of goal scorers, the spread of assists. You know, you had Kieran
Hanley and Clark getting goals.
Yeah, I mean, Kieran Clark getting an assist and a goal. Yeah. The return of Mitrovic, goal and an assist, which is I'm really pleased from that. I'm a big fan of Mitrovic. And he seemed, I think it was funny when Clark's goal went in, he was right next to it, and he almost seemed like a little bit, I mean, of course he went over and celebrated with Clark, but he almost seemed like a little disappointed that it wasn't him getting the goal, but then he got his goal in the end.
Perez was brilliant.
Well, this is it. I mean,
was really good.
Perez and Shelby, I think, the standout performers against QPR. And, you know, we've been waiting for Perez to maybe kick-start into life, you know. Very similar to the team, I guess. The first couple of games, he seemed a bit despondent. Wasn't really, maybe a bit
on that point, though, I saw the Fulham and Huddersfield defeats as, God, this is a really bad start. But Huddersfield are top. And Fulham have started really well, and we're playing them away. So in the context of that,
maybe there weren't terrible results.
No, there weren't, because in the context of that, if context of hitting the ground and actually think, oh God, Huddersfield and Fulham, what are they? But they've started really well. So I think in that context, but I think Shelby, I said it last time, he's head and shoulders above everyone else in that division.
But that's
the player in the division.
Absolutely, I think it's all about his temperament. Yeah. I think, you know, he's the kind of player that when his head goes down or things aren't going his way, maybe won't give us all,
This
and that's
time last
very
year he was
frustrating.
England international. This time last year he was playing for England.
But you can, like you say, when he's up for it, and he's clearly confident, and he needs belief in him, and Rafa's clearly given it to him after not starting for the first couple of games of the season. He's got that now, and he's starting to actually become an influence on the pitch.
Who plays alongside him? Do you think?
I like Hayden. I like Hayden a lot. I think, I didn't know a lot about him, but I think as a pairing, Hayden cleans up where Shelvey can always look forward. And you know what? Shelvey's starting to sort of take on that responsibility. He's starting to like pull the strings as he's absolutely capable.
He's 25 now. He's getting to the prime of his career. He should be really.
But I mean, squad rotation. I mean, this is like you say. It's a few days later from a very impressive win at Derby, which we had to work very hard for, and we've got Atsu coming in, getting an assist. You've got.
He's rapid as well.
Absolutely. So it's this pace, it's this penetration that we've got that is just it's just strong.
I like about when I like Hayden alongside Shelby because it reminds us for the older viewers, people similar to our age, late 90s Arsenal. They had Petit and Vieira, and they're almost like pistons. One would go forward, the other would drop back. They would work in tandem because neither are a sort of traditional defensive midfielder.
That's true, yeah.
And that's what I like. And with the dynamism we play going forward, I like to see that if they can get the learning, both young, both British, good connection. I think
they've definitely got chemistry, and I think it's definitely right that Colback isn't getting a game at the minute because of how they're performing.
He's limited, Colback, isn't he?
Anita again going canny. Sells obviously. I mean he's not having to do a lot, is he? He's sort of and that'll build his confidence
Darryl
up as well.
Murphy, we talked about a bit last time. Where do you see Murphy fitting into this?
Yeah,
team?
I think
with Perez, Mitrovic, and the others all performing well, and Gale performing
plenty
well.
of games. I think he'll absolutely get his chance. Yeah, but it was good to see Mitrovic back.
Good news.
Right, so that's 6 points. Went out second in the league, and it's another set piece goal. That's 9.
Wolves on Saturday.
Vince, what are you going for, prediction wise?
Well, after Wolves getting beat 4-0 and us being with our tails up.
It's a 10 goal swing, isn't it?
I could see us winning 3-0. My good mate Paul Aaron, he puts 3-1 on every home game. I think he's got a good chance for this one. That's his standard bet, but I think we'll score 3 goals. They'll not get no more than 1, so 3-0 or 3-1.
I think I'm going to go for a tidy little 2-0. I don't think it'll be as rampant as QPR, and I think we'll see a couple of the newest signings getting some action. I think.
Yedlin starting, Atsu getting.
I think I'd like to see Yedlin start. I'd like to see what he could actually do pace wise.
We need a dedicated right back. Anita isn't a full-time right back.
And ultimately, after 2 away victories, I mean the away crowd at QPR looked absolutely amazing. Really jealous not to have been there. Looked fantastic. But I think once again St James could be absolutely bouncing. And if we can do them on Saturday, hopefully we can do them again in the cup. But we'll
be back Sunday. We can start to tell them when we're going to be back now, can't we?
Yes, we can. So we'll be back on Sunday with a Wolves review and a preview to the second Wolves game as well. And yes, we'll get Pete back on the sofa as well. Right. Well. Thanks for watching once again. This has been a Toon in 10 by the Toon Network. I've been Adam. That's been Vince. Share with all your friends. Subscribe on all the channels. They're all listed at the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and roll on Toon Army. Get in. Bye-bye.